The rain continued to fall as before. A stifling air that filled Raccoon City. It wasn't that the virus had a smell to it, but it was a deadly atmosphere that inspired terror in living things. That super virus slowly spread through the whole city. It wasn't just the virus corruption that posed a threat, but the mutated zombies as well. Any team below a certain level that had the misfortune of encountering them would die. Team Africa was lucky. They just happened to be above the threshold of this certain level. They could still eliminate mutated zombies when they encountered them. Unfortunately, their power wasn't at the level where they could disregard the mutated zombies or the super virus. This power couldn't be faked. Reaching the 4th stage would grant immunity to the virus. If it wasn't reached, death would doubtlessly follow. There was no middle ground. There was no such thing as 3rd stages being able to get off with just a serious case of illness. When Team Africa reached the Umbrella Corporation's building, Team China was still a distance away. Due to some unknown interference, Psyche Force scans were weakened upon entering the building. It was limited to a 10-meter range. Such a small range wouldn't let them scan the surroundings and secure the team's safety, let alone contact Team China. Overall, a Psyche Force user wasn't as useful as a melee combatant in this building. How troublesome. Psyche Force scanning isn't usable in this building? God's restrictions really are strange. One of their members smiled bitterly. Neos, however, was frowning. It's not that simple. Restrictions tell us that we've come to the right place. We do indeed need to come to this building to find clues for the Hive and 7th Underground Laboratory. Similarly, if this is an important turning point for information, there must be a high difficulty here. Perhaps this building may have monsters that can wipe our team. Like that terrifying monster we saw outside the building? Upon mention of these terrifying monsters, everyone felt as if a knife was stabbing into heart, repeatedly twisting and tearing it apart. This feeling was no longer fear, but a sort of despair. There was especially the scene of being mutated alive that was captured when Psyche Force scanned a human being infected by the virus. Everyone secretly made the decision to suicide as soon as they were infected. Although God's realm was the realm of horror movies, even non-scientific horror movies of ghosts and monsters were, to be honest, no longer that scary with the gradually increase in strength of the teams and experiencing so much in so little time. But the terror that was outside the building was different. That virus could mutate the body while it was still alive, and wouldn't wait for you to die before it began the mutation. The pain was impossible to imagine. However, the pain in the spectators' hearts was even greater than the mutatee. They all recalled the words the veterans then had told them when they first entered the realm. If you're despairing or lack the courage to live on, then kill yourself. That's better than dying by those monsters or ghosts. This was actually similar to the words Ji had said to Zheng and the rest before. It was directed towards those who despaired deeply at the horror movies. To ordinary people who hadn't grown, God's realm was a place that was akin to hell. Now these veterans who had already matured were once again experiencing that emotion from the very beginning. However, this feeling wasn't as sweet as a first love, but instead the terror of the first ever nightmare you remember having. Neos rubbed his forehead gently. There was a visible crack there that slowly began to open, as if an eye was appearing on his forehead. Let's go. The senses of my three-eyed race are more practical than Psyche Force here. I'll replace the Psyche Force user for now. It'll be good if the danger in this building doesn't appear. Neo sighed as he turned to walk through the building's emergency passageway. Team China. The information will definitely be passed on to you if I die. This isn't just a matter for God's realm any longer, but the real world as well. If you fail, the world will end. How ironic. I'll actually have such a heroic death. God must be going blind. Neos thought internally as he walked. The more he thought about it, the more ironic he found it. By the end of it, he was laughing out loud. Before the laugh ended, a gloomy voice resounded out from above. You're laughing so happily. Did you see hell? Correct. I saw hell. Anyone who blocks my path will sink in that hell, like you too. In the emergency passageway, 2 or 3 floors from Team Africa, 2 men were standing there coldly smiling. One of them was wearing long black robes that even covered his face. The other man was covered in muscles, and was carrying a peculiarly styled gun. The 2 were standing in the passageway, one in front and one behind. One look was enough to tell they didn't bear any kind intentions. I'm curious. How did you all Team Celestial know we'll be here? Or to be more accurate, how did you all know we entered the ruins after you all? You're stopping and hunting us down now. Don't tell me you didn't only obtain the Tree of Life in the ruins. Was there something else? Neos laughed as he walked towards the 2. And who exactly told you we were from Team Celestial? The 2 upstairs exchanged a smile, before the black-robed man proceeded to laugh coldly as he asked with a gloomy voice. When the words flowed out, Neos was lost in thought. Then, he was immediately enlightened. Yes, you're not from Team Celestial. Team Celestial wouldn't deploy anyone. They would surely die if they encounter Team China or Team Devil. Chasing me down would also end up verifying what I want to tell Team China and make those 2 teams have no alternative but to fight Team Celestial. So Team Devil? The 2 froze slightly. Then, they began to chuckle. You really do have some capabilities. No wonder Xian said you'll definitely give the information to Team China. It won't do keeping you around, so, die. He raised the gun and began to fire downwards. The gun was strangely shaped. The barrel had a long container filled with liquid attached to it, giving it the appearance of a child's water gun. However, There naturally wasn't any way a member of Team Devil would be carrying a water gun. The liquid was originally deep blue, only to turn deep red upon the man pulling the trigger. At the same time, light appeared at the muzzle like a laser. Neos and the rest were only able to retreat several steps in time as a ball of light fell from above. Although the gap between the floors prevented the shot from landing directly on their heads, the ball of light still exploded upon contact with the ground. The enormous force was like a small high-powered explosive. A faint layer of light appeared on a majority of Team Africa. A few of the newbies who lacked this light were immediately blown to bits in the explosion. The power of the explosion was doubtless in this narrow passageway. All of the veterans had defensive equipment, and so were able to block this round of explosions. Neos roared as he retreated, while the rest all scattered back to the lower floors through the emergency passageway. That weapon is only exchangeable with rank CC rewards. Someone shouted as soon as they left the emergency passageway. The most important thing for veterans after obtaining points and rank rewards was to exchange enhancements or abilities that suited them, high-tech weapons included within. Using the limited points and rank rewards to build the most suitable and powerful combat power that also made it easier to survive was the most important thing for them. Thus, most veterans were very familiar with all the low-grade weapons and enhancements God offered. The fission gun was a rank CC tier of sci-fi weaponry. The power could be adjusted based on the usage, and it had unlimited ammo. At its most powerful, it was equal to a middle-sized high-powered explosive, while at its weakest it wasn't weaker than a small-sized high-powered explosive. It was just that its range was rather limited, with a maximum of 500 meters. It paled in comparison to other rank C sci-fi weaponry. It was only slightly more impressive in group battles. Thus, all the teams had treated it as something that looked impressive but wasn't very practical. Almost no one exchanged it, other than newbies with poor strength who hurriedly exchanged an item as soon as they got rank rewards, or powerful veterans who exchanged it to test it out when they had too many points and rank rewards. However, a member of Team Devil exchanging it should be the latter. Understood. If I want to safely meet Team China, I have to dispose of these two. It doesn't matter if they're from Team Devil. Much went through Neo's head as he retreated out of the emergency passageway, including how Team Devil knew they were here and why they would send people to attack them. These thoughts all flitted through his mind. The three-eyed race enhancement didn't increase intelligence, because intelligence wasn't something with an actual numerical value to begin with. That so-called IQ being a certain number was just some points derived by answering some questions. It was very far from actual intelligence. For example, some people looked to be quite the dullard. However, they were geniuses in certain fields, such as music or math. Could the people be considered to have the intelligence of an idiot? Thus, intelligence couldn't be converted into a numerical value, at least with humans' current level of science. The three-eyed race enhancement Neos exchanged wasn't like how in games hundreds or thousands of points could be added to the intelligence stat and let him reach the level of Xian. What was increased was just his reaction speed, which gave him the ability to process things at 3 times the rate of normal people, while giving him elementary telekinesis. A mere few seconds of thought roughly enlightened him to what Team Devil was planning. If Team Devil wished to stop Team Africa from meeting Team China, Team Devil's Xian must be scheming to have both Team Celestial and Team China lose to each other and suffer. With such a degree of danger, Team Devil really was playing with fire. Detestable. Doesn't he know that once that chain reaction begins, no living thing under the 4th stage can resist it? What confidence would those above the 4th stage have to kill the atom then either? Damn it, I just hope Team China's Xian won't think the same and try to use Team Celestial as a chip to weaken Team Devil. When Neos reached this conclusion, not even 10 seconds had passed. He didn't pause, using Psyche Force to tell everyone, retreat. Richard, use the other passageway to go up. We'll create the opportunity for you. When you're close, kill one at any cost necessary. He'll reinforce you with telekinesis. Aya. Prepare the man-eater bees. We need to at least trap them 2 floors above. A series of orders were issued. As a team with a strategist, their weapons were quickly mobilized. Having worked together countless times before, they weren't completely unable to resist even if the opponents were a level higher than them. It was only that as everyone ran towards the other passageway, Neos pondered over the possible choice Team China may make or, the scheme Xian may possibly have. If Team China's Xian has the same plan to use Team Celestial as a chip to weaken Team Devil, could both teams playing into someone's hands? What if while they're doing this, Adam takes the opportunity to finish his plan? Perhaps the final victor will be Adam. Correct, this is a risky play, as well as the only move that may grant survival. Life is like a game of chess. If every choice will lead to death, why not risk it all on one final gamble? The current Adam was very leisurely. They were currently at the outskirts of Raccoon City. The virus would still need some time before it spread here due to the city's enormity. Let alone sensing it, the Psyche Force users hadn't even scanned any abnormalities yet. All the members of the Angel Alliance, whether veterans or ordinary members, were all relaxedly waiting at a supermarket due to Adam's orders. Some had even taken out computers and used the batteries they brought along to play some games. It was like the Angel Alliance was here on holiday, not here to battle. Adam had a mahogany table before him, with an ongoing game of Go on it, played by Song Tian and him. Unexpectedly, Song Tian was a Go expert. His tactics were swift and fierce, just like his sword attacks. Although his backline was slightly fragile, the sharpness of his vanguard left Adam only able to defend. The two were currently on a campaign of killing the other, and it was already the moment to decide victory. What you mean is that you want to take advantage of when Team China and Team Devil are trying to scheme against us to complete that plan. Although every move of his was swift and fierce, his eyes were as calm as water. Song Tian spoke indifferently as he watched the Go game. Roughly that, but that's not all. Accurately speaking, I've been using an overt scheme from the start. I will complete the plan, no matter how they know or how Luo Yinglong lets them know. It's simple to stop me. Just kill you and me, and the many veterans behind us. No matter Team Devil or Team China, they'll have serious losses then. We aren't an ordinary team after all, but Team Celestial, one of the three strongest. Adam smiled gently. Oh ho. Song Tian lifted his head and gave Adam a look. His expression suddenly turned from as placid as water to as sharp as a sword. Although it was only for a moment, those behind Adam involuntarily turned away. They had felt as if a sword had been thrusting towards them at that moment. There's something wrong with your scheme. What if the two teams ally against you? Aren't you worried? Song Tian lowered his head again to watch the game while he asked. I'm worried. How wouldn't I be? Adam continued to smile as he spoke. Team China and Team Devil definitely allied together since the start. Accurately speaking, they should have done it in the last movie. Do you still remember? Team China strangely let Miya Takariki and the rest capture one of their members. I always couldn't understand it. But now I do slightly. That was Team China hiding the traces of Team Devil contacting them. If I had known earlier that Team Devil had some sort of omniscience, I wouldn't have made such a risky move. Alas, we're already at the stage and I have no choice other than to double down on it. Even if the two teams attack me, we just have to choose one of them to focus all our efforts on. The end conclusion will still be one team having heavy losses while the other is untouched. I think they know I'll make this decision, so they won't dare to attack me carelessly. Song Tian didn't think of it much as he shrugged his shoulders, not saying anything else. He seemed to be engrossed in his Go, and seemed to be facing a huge problem. It's like your decision to be made now. If you charge forward, but your back line isn't good enough, you may likely be surrounded and killed by me. If you don't charge forward, you'll let me sweep across the field and obtain the final victory. They're facing the same problem as well. Adam smiled gently as he looked outside the supermarket in a trance. After a long time, he said, this is the first time they'll have to take me as a true opponent, and not condescendingly speak of a mortal's wisdom. Show it to me, Xians. How will you break out of this deadlock I've made? Neos didn't know he had already partially guessed the scheme of the three strongest teams in the final battle. He was currently dedicating all his attention to the commands in the battle against the two from Team Devil. Overall, these two weren't too overpowered. After all, while Team Devil's members were reputed as the ones with the greatest potential of the realm, there would still be differences between them. The potential of these two definitely couldn't compare to Zheng. Also, with the principle of not having those in the teams having overlapping talents, some of those with greater potential didn't join the team. So, Neos wasn't very worried about these two's attacks. What truly concerned him was the approaching mutated monsters outside the building. Two people. One full of muscles and carrying a sci-fi weapon. I can't just take him as just someone who can only use that though. His melee combat should be good. The other's figure isn't clear, but he's wearing long robes that aren't conducive to melee battle. He should be a long-distance combatant. There's even a large probability he's a mage or something similar. There's two of them, one of them should be proficient in group battles. He processed it as he walked. Team Africa's speed wasn't slow, and they were already at the second floor by progressing through the other passageway. The quantity of man-eater bees Aya summoned was limited, so she didn't dare go overboard in attacking the two. She only used disturbance tactics to pester the two while managing to keep them on the second floor with great difficulty. When Team Africa reached the second floor, a ball of light abruptly came over, and powerful shockwaves was suddenly already striking. Fortunately, they were still a distance away and it only messed up their formation without anyone injured or killed. Orlando. Smoke. Neos used Psyche Force to tell a man by his side. The man was wearing long robes as well, but they were ash gray in color. A hand of his began to continuously take out spices, while the other made strange gestures. His lips began to mutter an incantation, and an ashy cloud sprang out, restricting vision to 3 meters out. Neos' directions were no longer necessary at this point. Richard and another man wearing half-body armor exchanged a look, before Richard took out a giant axe nearly 2 meters long and the other man took out a heavy chain. The two began to pound on the wall at the same time, clear booms ringing out. However, Richard was the only one breaking the wall down. This wall wasn't even a load-bearing wall, but just a wall for separating working spaces in an office building. Although that man with half-body armor couldn't compare to Richard, every strike of that heavy chain that carried enormous force was only able to dent the wall. It was obvious that the objects in this building were enhanced manifolds, giving those who relied on the terrain to battle some worries. Richard's pair didn't stop. Richard charged forward as soon as his axe breached it while the armored man followed hot on his heels. They just charged forward madly, knocking over many unknown things in the process. Everyone all heard the chaos and began to make their individual preparations. When Neos hadn't said anything yet, a pair of man and woman were already carrying guns as they advanced into the other passageway. Don't fire randomly or you'll hurt our own people. Just act as cover for them. Snow, contract your Psyche Force scan into a linear shape and just lock onto the two. That should increase the scope of your scan by 2 times. Aya, prepare to use witchcraft to attack that black-robed man anytime. Everyone else, go up to the third floor with me. Neo stroked the eye-shaped crack on his forehead, before issuing instructions to the rest. As his words fell, he was already running towards the emergency passageway. Everyone else was all shocked. They had all thought Neos would focus all their efforts on killing the two enemies. Who expected that he would give up on the attacks on them, and instead run away first? Perhaps he wasn't actually running away, but his current actions did seem to be no different from that. Leader, those two are from Team Devil. Can just those few people handle it? You doing this seems. A youth was following right behind Neos, muttering as he ran. It seems despicable. True, they are members of Team Devil and no one knows how strong they are, or if they have any special skills. But we don't have a path of retreat. Do you all not know? We're undoubtedly going to die. Those mutated monsters outside, as well as that unknown infection. Perhaps certain parts of our body is slowly starting to mutate. So, this building is already a hopeless situation for us. If we want to survive or possibly revive in the future, our sole hope is telling Team China everything. Let's make a gamble, that the heavens haven't abandoned us, that my intelligence is enough, and on Team China's character perhaps, a miracle will occur. At this moment, Team Africa has split into two, with one fighting Team Devil, while the other headed upstairs with Neos. At the same time, Team China was a dozen minutes or so from the building while Team Devil was approaching the hive. 10 hours were left for Team Celestial before the infected areas reached them. At this moment Ying Kong was gently smiling at someone familiar. It's been a while, my dear brother. The one she was smiling at was a distant man, with several kilometers between them. They were on a street, surrounded by various high-rise buildings. Indeed. It really has been a long time. You seem to have become much stronger, my little apple. Have you restored the real you? The man slowly walking over was indeed Zhao Zuoken. He carried that slight smile as always. It was only that his smile was slightly frightening, as his eyes were filled with icy coldness, containing nothing but killing intent. Following behind were several men and women who were trembling in fear. They all bore wounds, and had obviously been beaten very badly. The one who did this could naturally only be Zhao Zuoken. Oh. Do allow me to introduce my comrades to you. I met them coincidentally, and they oh so nicely brought me to see you. My little apple would have had to wait lonely for me if not for their Psyche Force user. As he walked, Zhao Zuoken suddenly tapped his head in sudden realization. With a gentle smile, turning around to look at them as he spoke. As the words fell, one of their heads vanished. They all hadn't seemed to recover from their shock as the body just stood there. They only began to scream in panic and flee when a fountain of blood appeared on the corpse's neck. They hadn't even covered a few steps before their heads all vanished as well, appearing in Zhao Zuoken's hand. He hadn't made any visible movements or actions as the head simply piled up on his hand. It was just as mystical as a magic trick. Okay. My adorable little apple, now no one can disturb us. Let me see the growth of that once upon a time peerless genius. What stage have you grown to now? The man laughed gently as he took out a dark red dagger. The dagger was purely dark red, like some sort of dark red gem. The delicate dagger looked quite beautiful. Ying Kong shook her head. As I thought. Brother, you've already strayed so far. That isn't right. This ending isn't the ending I wanted. Shut up. All you need to do is patiently wait there for me to harvest you. What need is there for so much crap? The gentle smile on his face gradually vanished. He advanced continuously with a cold expression. Although he wasn't too fast, the distance between the two gradually shrunk. Did you ever know? I've never blamed you. Even now, I've never blamed you, brother. We really have no path of retreat left. This feeling gradually birthed in the hearts of Team Africa whether they admitted it or not. The two from Team Devil were indeed as Neos analyzed, one magic user and one melee combatant. Their strength wasn't poor either. The magic user had actually taken advantage of the smoke to hide, while the melee combatant rushed forward to welcome them fearlessly. The melee combatant's enhancement was quite the strange one. He would become more powerful as he was attacked. It was unknown what extent the increase in power was and how long he could maintain it, but Team Africa had currently indeed met a powerful opponent. So, you wish to continue running? The melee combatant from Team Devil was dragging along the armored man from Team Africa, as he stood before Neos and the rest. He had actually shattered this resilient flooring as he directly ascended from the second to third floor. He was blocking Team Africa's path forward, and he didn't have the slightest hint of fear on him. What was Xian's mission for you? Neos wasn't wordy, and bluntly asked the man who was 10 meters away from him. The melee combatant was stunned, before chuckling, so curious right before your death? Correct, Xian gave us the mission of delaying the time as much as possible and make you unable to pass on the message before Team China reaches. Or, you can die from the sickness. The best would be to kill you at least. But your team is so weak. Killing all of you doesn't matter as well. Ha ha ha. Smart Alec. Why exactly does the world keep producing smart Alecs like you? Neos gave a deep sigh. But that's fine as well. It's people like you that spice up life. Accidents always follow accidents, right, idiot? That melee combatant began to laugh loudly. He stomped his foot down and charged towards Neos. There was a hideous wound on his back deep enough to show bone, as if he had been cut open by a sharp weapon. However, the flesh at both sides of the wound was squirming and repairing itself at a visible pace. The speed at which he pounced over was shockingly fast. A clear sound rang out as the melee combatant slammed into a blood-red trident. Numerous symbols of three eyes were engraved on it as well as some unknown texts. The trident was quite strange, as it floated 3 meters before Neos for no rhyme or reason. It seemed to be swaying weakly, but it actually managed to tank the collision with the melee combatant, instead sending him flying several meters away. Even calling you an idiot is high praise for you. Team Devil would have been wiped many times over if it just had idiots like you to fight and didn't have Clone Zheng and Clone Xian. If you're blocking our last path to survival, then we'll drag you along with us as we go to hell. Neos grasped the trident as he began to chant loudly, respect the covenant of the ancient times, with my blood and eye as proof of it. Live together with me. And die together with me. A bloody red radiance was emitted as the chant progressed just as the melee combatant stabilized himself. He was still a member of Team Devil after all, who had experienced countless battles. He immediately rolled to the side to avoid it, just as a streak of red light flashed past his previous position. Neos had hurled out the trident, and it was deeply embedded in a nearby wall, despite God having reinforced it. It seemed to have corrosive properties as well, with the wall around it slowly starting to dissolve. What a joke. Xian never said Team Africa had people as powerful as this. Azasola. If you don't do anything now, he'll leave first. The melee combatant was immediately stunned and immediately began to shout. As if in response to him, the sound of metal clanging rang out. At the entrance from the second floor behind Team Africa, several skeleton soldiers swarmed out. They were even wearing metal, and the clanging sounds had been produced from the weapons in their hands colliding with their armor. Magic-type combatants. All of the members took out their weapons, but it was obvious the rest weren't too strong, or could even be described as weak. All they took out were sci-fi weapons. According to the common sense of God's realm, the vast majority of the truly strong chose melee weapons. The melee combatant didn't dare exit his passageway, instead shouting, since you just slightly qualify as strong, fighting you is no longer a humiliation for us. My enhancement is the muscle fruit, that can convert damage taken into strength, expanding my muscles. My defense increases, and my power increases. I can easily kill you all as long as I can withstand one attack of your trident. So, think hard before you attack. You have but one chance. Neos ignored him, instead asking, and your companion? What's his enhancement? That gloomy fellow? He exchanged some summoning enhancement for skeletons or something. I can easily shatter his skull as long as I don't give him time. Damn it, what's your enhancement? The melee combatant only suddenly responded now, realizing he had unknowingly spoken out much about the fighting styles and weaknesses of his side, he immediately shouted. Neos laughed coldly. He didn't hide it, my enhancement is the three eyes race the rest, he'll tell you in hell. He gestured with one of his hands, and that trident floated out as if it had a life of its own, until it landed in his hand. A bloody red radiance was emitted once again by the trident. Not good. They've tied us down here, and I don't know what happened to Richard. Looks like this guy isn't exaggerating. Their power is actually strong. What should we do? How can I leave a message for Team China? We don't have much time left. All of you think of a way to deal with those skeleton soldiers below. They should be weak. Leave this one to me. Neos grasped the trident with one hand and roared towards those behind him. He was already charging forward as the words rang out. The melee combatant wasn't a complete idiot. He peeled off an ornamental wooden board from the wall beside him, then hurled it as Neos. At the same time, he launched himself up into the air. All Neos saw was a wooden board flying towards him. It was as hard as granite after being reinforced, and he could only raise his trident to block it. The red light flashed, and it immediately transformed into green vapor. But at the same time, the other man had descended from above, and a fist was crashing towards him. The powerful fist seemingly tore apart the air and a series of booms resounded. The momentum was menacing, but surprisingly, the fist only struck 20 centimeters from Neos, as if there was something there, which actually even repelled him away. Telekinesis. Our Team Devil also has a telekinesis expert, but his is innate. Could you possibly be stronger than him? The melee combatant wasn't panicked, and the him that had been sent flying used a foot to stomp on the wall. In the instant the wall cracked, he had already rolled away from Neos, neatly avoiding a thrust from Neos. When he had stabilized on the ground, he abruptly punched out once again. Although he didn't hit Neos once again, he managed to send him flying backwards. The force was huge and sent Neos colliding into a wall. It wasn't over yet as the man unleashed a kick. Neos seemed to be stuck in the wall, and although he managed to block the two attacks from him with telekinesis, the sensation of being sent flying wasn't pleasant. He only felt sweetness in his throat and he couldn't even react in time before being viciously kicked 10 meters away. This time, his telekinesis only abetted half the force. The other half passed through the barrier and landed on his right shoulder. It was bent as easily as bamboo, now crippled. As expected for person without aptitude for melee combat, even if they use other methods to forcefully reach the power of a melee combatant, they won't have the means to retaliate when they face a true melee combatant of the same level. Will I die here? Neos spat out a huge glob of blood. He was half kneeling on the ground, and his right hand used the trident to stand up again with great difficulty. However, the melee combatant didn't give him time to react, rushing forward once again. A distance of 10 meters was once that didn't even need a second to cover under pressing circumstances. However, just as he crossed half of it, the ground suddenly erupted and an axe shot up from below. The melee combatant hurriedly leapt back. However, despite how fast he avoided it, that sudden axe was still able to shave off half his right foot. It all happened in but an instant, and Richard had already jumped up from the lower floor to before Neos before he could recover from his surprise. I'm late. I almost died to a sudden punch of his just now. I spent a long time after looking for him before noticing about up here. Are you alright, Neos? Richard stared steadfastly at the melee combatant. Although he spoke arrogantly and seemed to be lacking in the brains department, he was definitely a strong person. He was even one that had likely unlocked the peak of the third stage and was nearing the threshold of the fourth stage. The melee combatant was quite robust. He didn't utter a word of complaint upon losing half his foot, instead smiling coldly at the two. The wound on his foot wriggled and mended itself ceaselessly. A section of flesh even jutted out abruptly, slowly returning to the shape of a full foot. Idiot. Don't you know? The more you harm me, the stronger my muscles get, with my power and sturdiness increasing. Continue hurting me if you want to die, ha ha ha. He ridiculed them, making the posture to pounce at them again. All I know is that the greater the power, the greater the burden. This world doesn't have power that comes freely. How long can your body endure this power? Richard's eyes began to gradually redden as he spoke, and his muscles began to swell up at a visible rate. The melee combatant roared with laughter, not replying. He suddenly tore a chunk of rock from the wall beside him again. He used all his strength to hurl it at Richard and Neos. Two palm-sized rocks approached at startling speeds, and the enormous force made the sturdy rocks disintegrate, while the axe was dented as well. The shattered concrete possessed bullet-like force, preventing Neos and Richard from being able to see. The melee combatant had already taken advantage of this moment to rush forward. Richard was still a melee combatant himself after all. His battle instincts weren't as weak as Neos, and he immediately unleashed a horizontal chop with his axe. A faint light even covered the axe, which was the appearance of a high-level battle chi. It could slice apart metal as easily as if it were mud. No matter how nicely the other man put it, he wouldn't dare take this hit head-on no matter how tough and strong his muscles were. The melee combatant didn't have a chance to press in whether from above or below, and could only retreat several steps with no alternative, just happening to stand at the edge of the axe. There was a loud boom as the axe bit into the wall at the side, and the melee combatant took this instant to charge forward again. Richard and him unleashed a punch at practically the same instant, and the two punches collided, and the two were forced to step back. The current Richard's eyes were already completely red and all his muscles were swelling up. It even looked quite dreadful at first glance. The skin of the melee combatant had turned from a normal color of flesh to an indigo blue, an indication of when muscles were developed to their fullest. The two tall figures clashed. Richard didn't have time to collect his axe, while the melee combatant seemed to be more familiar with fighting barehanded. The current Richard's power was shocking after using Berserker. He had the advantage over the melee combatant for now. Both were warriors that relied solely on brute force, and each fist that landed on flesh produced loud booms. Just the noise made it sound like human-shaped Gundam were fighting. Every part of the passageway they passed shattered, and the concrete shrapnel that shot out carried as much power as bullets. Neos used his trident to block several fragments as he retreated. He had a more important mission than fighting now, which was to preserve Team Africa's hope for survival. What to do? It's no longer practical to slowly find a way out or wait for Team China. Those two from Team Devil are too strong. Richard can only suppress him now. The man from Team Devil may be able to reverse it and win instead if he continues to get any stronger. I also don't know how strong the Necromancer is. If he can partner with this guy, he can't be weak, especially when this guy called out for him in a moment of danger just now. What to do? What to do? Damn it. Could I, Neos, really be at my wit's end? Does power really trump over wit? Just as Neos was fretting, several of Team Africa had finally surrounded the Necromancer within that miasma. These were the members of Team Africa Neos had left behind who had greater strength. They were much stronger than the members fighting the skeleton soldiers on level 3. After surrounding the Necromancer, they used Soul Link to contact each other and advance as one. Caught him. Careful of the instantaneous explosive power of magic. That damage is shocking. Wait. Something's off. What's that shadow? The scan easily pierced through the miasma and everyone noticed what the wizard was currently doing. He was currently focusing on chanting an incantation. A faint magic circle appeared below his feet and a shadow appeared besides the magic circle. It constantly squirmed and transformed, making everyone anxious. However, the fierce sounds of battle from the third level and the wails from the weaker members of Team Africa all made them advance towards the Necromancer without a pause. At this moment, the braying of a horse rang forth from the shadow. All they saw was a hoof show itself, before that shadow abruptly raced towards the nearest Team Africa member to the Necromancer. Careful. A skeleton knight? But the shadow's speed was incredibly fast, and just as the words rang out, a pure black broadsword had already swept past that man, bisecting him before he could even cry out. It was only now that everyone saw the knight's appearance clearly. It was mounted on a warhorse that was outfitted in purely black armor, including even its hooves. This knight that was decked out in black armor from head to toe absolutely didn't resemble a skeleton knight. My god, it's not a skeleton knight, it's a black knight? The Black Knight, or alternatively the Grim Reaper Knight, was the near pinnacle spell of necromancers. It needed rank A rewards to exchange. However, its cost-performance ratio was too low as compared to other rank A skills. Apart from the initial exchange cost, sufficient enhancements in summoning were required as well as the psyche force to sustain it. Overall, it would end up spending over a rank S reward as its cost. With such a low cost performance ratio, even teams with those who specialized in summoning would usually choose to use Yu-Gi-Oh cards for their summoning or something else. Thus, no one really knew exactly how powerful a Black Knight was. I also partially belonged to the magic user category who used summoning, and had checked the various summoning abilities offered by God. She also had the same impression that the Black Knight was something that looked more impressive than it actually was. But if one considered it carefully, the greater the power, the greater the restrictions. Conversely, the greater the price, the greater the power that would be obtained as well. The Black Knight's appearance was quite oppressive. Its broadsword was also wrapped in a black aura. This Black Knight was already not inferior to 7 or even 8 ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings fused together. The broadsword swayed continuously, leaving scars on the walls around as if it were tofu. This strength was already far in excess of Richard and the melee combatant. It would be a veritable human grinder in this narrow passageway together with its tall and big warhorse's sprinting speed. Hee, this Black Knight was something I risked my life to get from Xian. It really is stronger than I imagined. Looks like there's no longer any need to summon ghosts or zombies, kill them all. The Black Knight yanked on the reins, and the armored horse gave a snort, and black smoke was exhaled from its nostrils. Everyone was already stunned by this Black Knight's pressure, and together with that man before being bisected, no one did anything in the short run. When the Black Knight rushed forward, Aya suddenly shouted, "Run! Each person who escapes is one person saved. Tell Neos, run!" In that moment, Aya's head was already sent flying high into air, landing in the miasma. The battle on the third floor had reached a fever pitch of intensity. Richard's berserker skill had been able to rival Zheng's explosion back in Starship Troopers. Although Zheng's body then was far from comparable from today, Richard had surely still improved by leaps and bounds after such a long time training. He could only draw a tie with his opponent now, but he was slowly being pressured by the man from Team Devil and being suppressed. Did you know? I don't have anything else going for me other than strength and speed. My body is my weapon, and I'm above average in Team Devil. If I lose a hand-to-hand fight with a third-rate team like you, I really should just kill myself. The melee combatant roared with laughter. The muscles on his body were already at the state where they were causing his skin to split. It looked as if various blue and red monsters of flesh were entwined around his skeleton, looking ridiculous and disgusting. Every strike and step of his bore enormous force, and the entire passageway had been wrecked by the two already. Richard was covered in wounds. His berserker skill's characteristic was to ignore the pain from wounds and increase his power, but it didn't actually allow him to ignore his injuries. Perhaps in the short run the two could go head-to-head against each other, but as time passed Richard would definitely die. Bang! The two fists collided again. This time, it was different from before. The melee combatant's power had skyrocketed several folds after his muscles developed to the extreme. However, Richard's strength was starting to decline, as one waxed while the other waned. This clash of fists bore a conclusion. Richard was completely suppressed now. As soon as the melee combatant fist punched out, he noticed the abnormality. Sneering ferociously, he used his hand to grab Richard's hand. "I'll just tell you this. You're right. My muscle fruit does have a limit. It gets more dangerous for my body the stronger I get. Unfortunately, you weren't strong enough to force me to that stage. Die." The melee combatant laughed ferociously, and slammed Richard into the wall with a jerk of his hands. He proceeded to use his right shoulder to press down heavily on Richard. An enormous force that was manifolds greater than a tank's not only flattened Richard into a meat paste, but even created a crater in the wall approximately 3 square meters in area. Neos was at the distant end of the passageway. The wounds he had suffered before weren't light, and even if he took advantage of the chaos to flee, he couldn't go far. The two from Team Devil's power had far exceeded his expectations, especially in these circumstances where it was a head-on fight without schemes or arrangements put in place. That was the worst possible conclusion for him. Also, he no longer had the desire to battle, and was instead thinking constantly about a way to leave behind the information. So, he just sat there on his knees. If Richard lost, he would definitely die. He might still have some hope if Richard won, but looking at it now, he was definitely going to die. Hey, so this is where my journey ends? But I still haven't found a way to leave behind the information. Is that all there is to my intelligence? Is it so far from Xian? Neos looked at the distance with a bitter smile. The melee combatant wasn't anxious. He brushed off the gore on him, before slowly walking towards Neos. The meat paste had already been ignited by the high temperature caused by short-circuit wires. Unexpectedly, this building that had been quiet for so long still had electricity. Wait. Electricity? Neos used his trident to prop himself up, smiling slightly towards the slowly approaching melee combatant. Did you know? The so-called telekinesis is just another form of psyche force, or alternatively, it could be called the most basic form of light of the soul. Although it doesn't have the form of light of the soul, it still does have some of its rudimentary elements. Thus, it can appear in countless forms just like light of the soul. In other words, it can change into other forms of energy in certain circumstances. Oh. So. The man smiled coldly in a disinterested manner. He was only 10 steps away. Although he was walking slowly, it was only due to the perverse interest of a hunter toying with its prey. He could murder Neos within seconds. My trident is a medium for controlling psyche force, and can transform it into other forms of energy including electronic signals. That's a form of energy too, right? Apart from telekinesis, my 3 eyes race enhancement has another additional attribute. It accelerates the thinking process, to a maximum of 10 times an ordinary person. It's just that it's greatly damaging to the brain. Neo smiled slightly as he used one hand to hold the trident tightly. The trident kept emitting a red radiance, but he didn't attack the melee combatant. He instead turned towards the wall behind and stabbed into it. There was a flurry of sparks, and the trident had already pierced into the wire network below. Chu Xian. This is the information I'm leaving for you. It's up to your luck whether or not you can obtain it. I definitely won't lose to anyone in intelligence. Even if I fall slightly behind others, my heart will never give up. Xian, if we can have a battle of schemes again in the future, I won't lose to you. The red light flashed intermittently as if there were some rules behind it. The melee combatant didn't know what he was doing. However, his thought process was very simple. Since Neos had made a move, he no longer needed to hold back. A fist shot out and completely disintegrated Neos starting from the center of his back. The enormous fist impact even turned the rest of his body into a bloody gore, while the trident was buried even deeper into the wall until it could no longer be seen. Idiot. What were you whispering? I told you long ago. I only have power and speed, and nothing else special. However, specializing in this had instead made me stronger. I don't know what you just did, but weren't you still get killed in one punch by me? Haha, what an idiot. The melee combatant roared with laughter, brushing the gore off his hand. A voice sounded out from behind him before he could turn around. Why does that sound so familiar? It's like I've said that before? The melee combatant's entire body unfroze and he didn't dare turn around. That voice was very familiar to him. It was a voice he regularly heard in his team, that of his team leader Zheng Jia. How would dare not be familiar? But, his Zheng should be standing guard over the 7th underground laboratory now. He wouldn't say such words either. Which meant the identity of the man behind him was obvious. The second strongest in God's realm, the original Zheng Jia. He simply hadn't noticed anyone behind. If it wasn't something wrong with his senses, that meant the Comer was way too strong, already magnitudes greater than him. Also, a horrifying pressure had assaulted his back when Zheng had spoken, as if a giant mountain was crushing him beneath it. Although his body was filled with energy now, he couldn't move a muscle. He had only ever felt such a sensation in front of clone Zheng before. Your Team China's Zheng? The man had nerves of steel, and bit down on his tongue. The pain allowed him to recover from the pressure and turn his head around. He saw a person behind him that was exactly the same as clone Zheng, minus the position of the scar. He only didn't look as cold and terrifying as clone Zheng. I've always wanted to meet you. My leader always talks about you. Fated enemy. You don't look like much. The melee combatant sneered at Zheng. Your leader? Which team are you? Zheng was stunned for a while. He frowned at the gore behind the man before asking. The melee combatant was stunned. He hadn't actually thought carefully over when Zheng had arrived, so he said directly, I'm from Team Devil. I'm here to stop Team Africa from meeting with you all. Zheng was stunned. After a long while, he smiled brutally, Team Devil, are you? Then that gore behind you should be the corpse of a member of Team Africa? Who does it belong to? Damn it, why do I have to tell you so much? I haven't liked you much since long ago. You don't even look very strong. Beat me, and ill. His words hadn't even finished when Zheng flashed to in front of him and sent what looked like an utterly ordinary punch at him. He didn't even have the time to react as the punch struck his right shoulder. A clear and crisp sound rang out as the punch shockingly carried unfathomable power when it shattered his resilient muscles, and he lost his right shoulder and half of his lung area. I really don't have the time to joke with you. Who did you just kill? What did he say? Tell me. Zheng looked at the man with a face filled with killing intent. He extended a hand and grabbed his neck, easily hoisting the man up like he was a little chick. The melee combatant was shocked and horrified. He was very confident towards his power. It was above average even in Team Devil, the strongest team in the realm. The battle before had even strengthened his muscles greatly. Who expected that he wouldn't even be able to stand up to one punch from Zheng? It was Team Africa's leader. He kept muttering about strange things. Right, it was something about leaving information for Xian. Damn it, why is that man again? Zheng almost burst out laughing. It seemed even Team Devil was troubled much by that fellow. He really was a terrifying existence. Still, Team Africa. There was that strategist who liked to eat chocolate, who kept wanting to challenge Xian. But just like every time in the past, he would be utterly defeated. Did he die as well? Information, is it? Zheng gave the gore on the walls a look as he sighed. He then proceeded to land a punch at where the man's heart was. Both this punch and the previous were using instant destruction. It looked simple, but the force was incredible and it immediately split the man at the waist, turning even his heart into mush. Hung and Imhotep, there's another person from Team Devil below. I want him alive, as I want to ask him Team Devil's current position. Zheng turned around, as the rest of Team China began to stream in through the window. Xian had already been standing in the passageway since some unknown time, looking at the place Neos passed on with a frown. Information, is it? Xian suddenly extended a hand and placed it on the trident in the wall. A streak of electricity brushed past his fingers. Although he lacked a sense of pain, the electricity still gave him a jolt and those fingers involuntarily trembled. Electricity. If there's electricity, Xian suddenly turned to Zheng. I want to go and find the information left behind. I'll leave this to you. You can obtain some useful information from that Team Devil member. When I return, we can begin to plan how to deal with Team Devil. Wait. You're doing it again, not saying anything. Say it, what's the information? Where is it? Zheng was dumbfounded as he hurriedly grabbed a hold of Xian as he anxiously asked him. If there's electricity, a computer network exists as well. Although I don't know what Neos meant, based on this battle, the only preserved information could be electric information. I'll find a computer and verify my conjecture.